we've gotten our EXP 50. It's been delivered to you by UPS or FedEx or somebody like that. It's going to come in two boxes, two separate boxes. The boxes are approximately 36 inches long by 9 inches by 9 inches, and they weigh about 45 pounds each. And inside of this is all the gear. These were designed to be able to go right in the belly of the airplane when you travel. Let's go take a look and see what's inside. When you open up the 2-inch wide Velcro, inside one of the bags you're going to find the bits that come with the EXP 50. The first bit that I happen to pull out of here is actually the sand bit. This bit, if you notice, has a real tight jaw on here. This green coating that you see on here is actually just a protective coating for the cutter as it goes in. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can actually take this and just go ahead and peel these off before you start digging, or you can just dig with it and it will just it'll just come off while you're digging. In the event that you get into some sandy, really sandy, wet ground, this is going to help hold the sand and something that's very soft that may want to fall right out. This is going to help hold it in. The other bit in here is what we call a regular auger bit. This is the bit that you're going to actually start to dig your hole with. But notice the difference. This is the regular bit. It's got a wider opening through here. This is the sand bit, and it's got a much narrow opening. This cracking bit is in the event that you hit something that is hard. It could be compacted gravel. It could be a thin layer of shale or rock. This is going to give you the opportunity possibly to break through that and find your way back into the dirt. If you hit solid rock, you may have to move your hole to a different location. But this is going to help you break through in the event that you need to do that. You're going to find a bag of lock pins, which we'll get to when we open up the other bag. Also in the bag that has the bits, you're going to find the T-handle and this funny looking tool right here, which is a riser stay. Let me get this first bag out of the way. The second bag is a bag of shafts. There's 50 feet of shaft in here. These are 1-inch diameter anodized steel. Everything's welded together that needs to be, except where the two lock together, and that locks together with a lock pin. So let me show you how that works. In here you have a few more lock pins than you need. Let me show you exactly how these work. Now these pins were designed specifically for the EXP 50. We tried a lot of different things. This seems to stay in place the best. There is a little modification that you can make to this with a hammer. In the event that you have a loose pin, you can simply put this on a hard surface, smack it with a hammer, bend this down a little bit, and it will lock into the shaft a little bit better. We want to take our bit. This is the first one we're going to start with. This has the wide opening. We're going to connect one of our shafts, and if you notice, you have a hole alignment here that's pretty critical. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up those holes. We're going to take our lock pin. We're going to push this through the hole, and we're going to lock this down in place. Now notice how loose that is. That's okay. As we're digging, this is going to, they will stay in place, but my recommendation is going to be that you do take a heavy mallet, bend those in slightly so that when this comes down, it actually locks in place. We want this pin to lock in tighter than it has, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a slight bend in here. This metal will bend pretty easy. You don't have to hit it real hard. We just want to get a bend in it. Do it a little bit more. See how it's getting closer and closer to our part here. So let's give it one more whack there and see if it'll lock in there a little bit tighter. The next piece that we're going to install onto the bit is the T-handle. We're going to take the handle and we're going to drop it down, making sure that our holes are aligned. We're going to drop it into place, line up the holes, push the pin through, and lock the pin in place. Now this is about as long as we're going to be able to go when we start. You've got the approximately 16 inches of the bit. You've got a 3-foot shaft and a little bit of overhang on the handle. And as you notice, this is about shoulder height. This is about where you're going to start when we start to auger into the ground. As we go into the ground, pull the dirt out, go into the ground, pull the dirt out, and we get this closer to the ground, we're going to leave, you know, about 12 inches of this sticking up out of the ground, 12 to 16 inches. We'll put on another shaft and we'll start to screw that in. Now we've got 2 shafts in, that's 6 feet deep. We'll continue this process until we hit water. We've picked our spot. You see where I've kind of churned it up a little bit here. What I'm going to do, just to make this a little bit easier, is I'm going to start a hole, which I'll refer to as like a bell hole. And what we're going to do is we're just going to loosen up the dirt in there and take out a shovelful, because what this is going to do is give us a starting point. We put together the regular auger bit, lock pin, shaft, handle. What's kind of critical is the position of this lock pin, and here's how I want you to remember this, is that if you have the lock pin in backwards or upside down, this will not lock. So that is not the correct way. You want to make sure that your lock pins are in position and through the holes and locked down into position like that.